This is Passion for Your Passions, a podcast about what makes life worth living. I'm Krista.
And I'm Julie. On this episode, we're talking about jellyfish. Jellyfishing. Jellyfishing. Jellyfishing! So we're talking about jellyfish today, and of course, this is a Krista special, as you would probably assume, or if you just followed the patterns or paid attention. But
I mean, it's a Krista episode, but I feel like it's a you episode in some ways too. You encourage my love of jellyfish, so
I do.
What do you want from me? You keep buying me jellyfish things.
You keep accepting them.
What do you want me to do? Just be like, no. No
more.
Well, I think us and jellyfish has gone back quite a way. I mean, it's honestly kind of a weird thing. We were talking about this the other day, and I still really want you to send me a picture of this. But I guess apparently we drew comics of jellyfish when we were, I'm guessing, high school or middle school.
Yeah. We were in choir.
We were very cool.
Super cool. I think it was middle school. The only thing is, I think it was both. So I think, we started doing the comics on our choir folder in middle school. But then when you ended up being in the same choir as me, freshman and junior year, we, changed the theme every time. Yeah. So I have, 3 or 4 folders of just comics, and one year we were just jellyfish. Just did nothing but jellyfish comics.
Yeah, I mean, so, I think the other thing that we could talk about besides these comics, which I do want to see these comics, because I vaguely remember us doing this, but I don't remember anything specific about it. I don't know. I feel like you've shown me a couple of these at times, our stories that we would write back and forth to each other, or us just, I don't know. I feel like sometimes we would write notes to each other, and it's always so funny to see the notes, because it'll be like, hey, I want to come over to your house this weekend. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, really cryptic. I know that we were in British Lit together, and I remember specifically, our teacher saw the jellyfish folder and talked to us about it, and I got really upset because she liked every one of your jokes and didn't like any of mine, because she didn't know whose was whose. She just looked at her folder, because we would take turns drawing the comics, and every single one of your jokes she thought was hilarious, and not one of mine did she find funny, and it just really pissed me off.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good fact.
Yeah. I just remember that distinctly. She just did not find me funny, and I was just like, I will get you one day.
Well, okay, so now you have to find this, or if you still have it, and upload it for the world to see.
I will.
To see how bad we were in high school.
It's in pencil, so I don't know how easily it'll be readable, but I will post
we can figure it out. Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's a way. We can figure it out.
High contrast on the photo.
Yeah, just keep it until it keeps in.
Just keep contrasting over and over
until you can see it.
That's the secret. So yeah, jellyfish. What a topic. How should we start?
Well, the other thing I wanted to mention, us being roughly the age that we are, there is also SpongeBob to talk about, because, I think that's another, honestly, that's probably one of the most popular media that has jellyfish in it. There's not a lot of other things that I can think of that have jellyfish prominently there. I guess there's 9 pounds.
I was going to say 7 pounds is the only thing I can think of, but that's depressing.
Yeah, that's depressing. And to be honest, jellyfish. As much as I like jellyfish, I don't think I would ever want to own one. And I don't think it's because of that movie. I think it's because I have a very weird relationship with jellyfish. I find them pretty, but also I'm kind of terrified of them.
I wouldn't mind having a tank of the little ones, the ones that are 2 inches tall. Having those would be cute. I've been stung by a jellyfish, so it's kind of I got over it, I guess.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, it did. It fucking sucked.
What did you do?
So it wrapped around my leg on my like left calf, and it's immediate. Like I just felt this weird feeling, and then I was like, "Fuck!" Like it like really hurt so bad all of a sudden, and like I rushed out of the water, and everybody else did because essentially like a whole bunch came into the shoreline, so everybody's like running out of the water from getting stung, and it's immediately throbbing and like bright red. It's kind of like it feels like a burn, like a chemical burn. And, you know, always there's that jackass. It's like, do we have to pee on her? And then someone else went, get vinegar. Like, go get vinegar. That's what you're supposed to do, you jackass. Like, so then, yeah, I got vinegar and then immediately, like, dissipated. Like, as soon as you put vinegar on it, it's like nothing ever happened. Like, my leg was throbbing, but it wasn't hurting. It was just, like, radiating heat. I do remember that was, like, one of the worst trips I'd ever been on. It was with like some friends when I was like 19 or something at Myrtle Beach. And when I got home, my car was broken into and like all my shit was stolen, including like my radio and my Game Boy Advance and like all of my like pennies in my penny cup. And they ruined my turn signal when they stole my radio. So like I couldn't even use my turn signal on the way home. And that's why I just started crying in my car. I was just like, like my turn signal doesn't work. And I got home
by a jellyfish and all my stuff is gone.
I got home and like I walked to the door and I calmed myself down. I was like, it's okay, you're not upset. And I walked to the door. My parents were like, how was your trip? And I'm like, I got stung by a jellyfish and someone broke in my car. And I just started crying again.
What?
Yep.
Well, I have never been stung by a jellyfish, and I have a lot of fears about it, but I don't know. I mean, I assume it's probably fine, I guess, unless you get stung by one of those super poisonous ones.
Yeah, that are never on the shore.
Yeah, and I don't know, just the idea of them kind of freaks me out. But I mean, I suppose, like, with most things that are poisonous, so long as you deal with it, you're normally fine.
Yeah, as long as you know what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you're okay.
So long as you're not like, I have been poisoned, so now I'm going to lay in my bed for a week.
I'm feeling kind of sleepy from this concussion. I think I'm just going to call it. It's the same concept.
I think I've been poisoned, and I think I'll just casually die. It's fine.
I'll just sleep it off.
Time. I think in SpongeBob, like, the only thing that I wanted to mention is, like, it's kind of weird that it's very prominent in SpongeBob, and I don't really like them in SpongeBob. For one thing, I think it's because they're kind of annoying. They're not really there to be pretty in SpongeBob. Like, they're just kind of like bugs, is almost the way I would describe them. They're kind of around, they buzz, they make really, like, stupid noises. SpongeBob will catch them. They all look exactly the same.
I mean, you have the episode with Kevin. With the king and queen jellyfish and
right.
stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, SpongeBob is great, but I just don't particularly find that the jellyfish are that interesting to me in SpongeBob. So, all of this being said, it's very weird that I like jellyfish at all. And, you know, for as much as I do. Oh, and then I will say the other thing about SpongeBob that did really crack me up is I think there is this whole episode where he has the jellyfish or like jelly. So he'll like squirt them and put it on a burger or something and then eat it. And it's like, that's very weird in hindsight.
That was one of our comics. We made a peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich.
I mean, apparently I've learned you can eat jellyfish. I cannot imagine that they taste like anything.
No, they're probably like slightly salty. Like, slight flavor. And the texture of jelly.
I don't really consider salt a flavor. I mean, it is, but like it's not. I don't know. I feel like everything tastes salty.
Everything has salt in it.
You lick your hand and it tastes salty. You lick the table and it tastes salty. I don't know.
From all the tears. Yeah. No, life is just salty. Like we've created this in our kind of, what is it, taking it for granted that salt's a flavor. Like, back in peasant days, they would have loved a little bit of salt in their food.
But I think if you ate a jellyfish, maybe it would taste salty.
Or like algae or something.
I can't imagine you would eat a jellyfish and you'd be like, this tastes like chicken.
I'm going to keep going with this food here.
But people do eat them, so that is a thing, and I think it's like in Asian cultures mainly.
Shocker.
But I mean, I've never seen anybody eat them in the States.
I think I've seen it on a menu once for like some weird sushi or something that was seasonal. I think my thought was like, nah, that's nothing about that sounds appealing. Maybe if you like filled it, like if you did like the stuffed pepper but with the jellyfish top, like I don't know. Because that's how that works.
I still just can't imagine that it tastes good, though.
Well, no, it would keep it moist. Like, it'd be more about, like, the functionality of how it helps the other food, not what it is by itself.
It would be like, it's cute, so it's fine. It's fine that it tastes horrible.
Look how cute. Yeah. It's a 10 out of 20 because 10 for aesthetics and 0 for flavor.
I made this burger that's shaped like Pikachu. It tastes like ass. It's fine.
So 5. Yeah.
It's still shaped like Pikachu.
Still gets points.
That is the only points that it gets. The other part, I think, for me, that has come as to why I like jellyfish is because I took zoology at one point. That was like one of the classes that I took in high school. And I learned that jellyfish are basically just plastic bags attracted to light. They're also kind of like the cockroaches of the sea, or the pigeons, whatever you want to say, because they could basically survive the apocalypse. They've been around for fucking ever. They're apparently perfect creatures in their way. They don't need to evolve or change or anything.
Well, then that makes more sense with SpongeBob that they're like cockroaches or pigeons.
Well, the only reason I kind of say they're not like pigeons is because I feel like pigeons can think to some extent, whereas I don't really feel like cockroaches do. They sort of just exist. That's kind of the same way with jellyfish. They sort of just exist. Like, they don't even really have a nervous system. They're sort of just attracted to stimulus, and that's kind of it. Like, I think, like, essentially they're basically attracted to warmth and then shiny things and then, like, maybe sources of food. But I don't...
They're more like a moth.
Yeah, they just really kind of don't think, like, at all. And that's kind of why they remind me of cockroaches, because it's like, well, they'll be around forever. And they just, you know, they barely function. And
they're just there.
Like, it does kind of, one of the big things in nature that really cracks me up is when a creature's defense mechanism is basically just, I don't know, eat me and you'll regret it. Like, it's not like they try to stop you from eating. It's like those poisonous frogs, right? Like, it's not like the frog is dangerous. It's not gonna, like, come up to you and try to bite you or whatever, but if you eat it, yeah, you'll die. And that's the
like,
whole
try it, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like living out of spite. It's that way. It's like, all right, you can eat me, but we're both going down, motherfucker. Like, yeah. It's just that mentality of like, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. I can respect that.
Which, again, I don't know why anybody would try to eat a jellyfish. It's basically water. And so, like, if you're talking about, I don't know, like a whale or something, what does a whale need to eat water for? Nothing.
It's all around you.
So you just inhale the jellyfish and get no nutrients out. And so then also it hurts a lot.
Do you have like a specific species of jellyfish that you like?
I do like the moon ones that you were talking about, because those ones are cool because you can like put them in a tank with light, and then they do all these like cool things, even though I'm sure they're entirely not aware that they're doing anything at all. they're just vibing.
They're just vibing.
They might
Jellyfish
be
is a
slightly
vibe.
confused because of the whole being attracted to light thing. But so they'd just be sitting there like, there's so much happening.
There's so much light in my life.
But I do like those ones. I also like the lion's mane ones. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They have like a million tentacles. They're really cool looking. They also kind of freak me out. That is definitely one of those ones where I don't think I could be around it for real. And then the little itty bitty ones are kind of cute too. I'm sure that they would still really hurt, and so I would not be happy to be around them.
It's probably like an electric shock, like, God damn it! Like, just getting covered, like when you're getting bit by fire ants.
This beach is toxic. Something is wrong with the water.
Don't go in the water!
You know, this is a thing I've been thinking about lately, mainly because I've been into a lot of Japanese-related things, and so they were talking about the 2011 tsunami and how bad it was. I know you and I were talking about that recently, like how intense and awful that it was. And it's one of those things where I think about what it must have been like to be, I don't know, in the year 100 or something, or pre-Christ, whatever those numbers.
BC, AD, and BC.
BC, to be like, I don't know, 1000 BC, and then a tsunami comes, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? The ocean is so angry.
Yeah, you have no history. That's why they had so many gods, because they're like, well, that's a new thing. New god came in, like, just round it up.
So I can't even imagine what it would be like back then to go in the ocean, and it's like you get stung by a bunch of little jellyfish, and you're like, what the hell is happening in this ocean?
I've been in this ocean every day for 30 years. Like, what the fuck?
And today it hurts like hell.
It hurt when I went in there. I mean, I'm sure it's just like anything else, like, you know, where my mom will come up and say, don't touch that flower. I'll be like, why? Touch? Oh God, why did it hurt? Like, it's the same. Like, I think your parents and grandparents pass on these nuggets of wisdom.
Be careful. The ocean might kill you. I mean, to be fair, there is a lot of ocean might kill you mythology.
I mean, it's a good reason. There's a lot in there that can kill you. I bet they'll see, like, the bioluminescence, be like, oh, you see the ocean glowing? Yeah, that's so cool. I want to touch it. Don't touch it. It's angry. It'll bite you.
Well, I do have a mysterious question that's not a question. It's actually a mysterious link. But we're going to talk about it after the story time.
Okay. So I get story time, and I know I haven't told this as a story time, but I don't know if I've referenced it before. But I was going to tell a story about when I was teasing my dog and I got stuck in a tree. So growing up, I was not allowed to climb trees. It was like this specific rule because my parents were like, you're going to fall out of it and die. So I climbed trees all the time, and I would have to like jump out of them or quickly like descend anytime my parents, I'd like hear their car, be like, oh shit, like, and get out of the trees. And I lived next to my parents, and I was working on one of the sycamores I have because it had a bunch of dead branches. So I had a dog at the time, and I let him out, and he was running rampant, as he did. And I climbed the tree, and with my chainsaw, I was trying to, like, cut stuff and move. And when I got up there, I knocked over I put 2 cinder blocks up, and I knocked them over when I got up, and I was like, well, that's a problem for when I have to get down. Oh, well. I just kind of, like, climbed up the tree. I was up there for a while, and then another branch broke, and it was a branch that I used to get down. So I was just like, oh, that's 2 layers. That's cool. Deal with it when I need to deal with it. And then it was like in the middle of the afternoon, like my parents were at work, and all of a sudden my dad came home, and I was like, oh shit. And I just like clung to the trunk and sat up there. And he like got on his 4-wheeler, and he was driving through my property and everything, and I'm just like hiding in a tree. Like, don't see me. I was like, I'm an adult on my own property, but don't see me, Dad. I'm just in this tree. And then my dog like came back, and he didn't know where I was. He just assumed, I don't know if he didn't see me go up the tree or what. And so I started teasing him. I started like whistling, and he would just look around like, what the hell? Like, he'd start freaking out because he couldn't see me or anything. I would just start whistling, and then he, like, took off. I was like, oh, fuck, where's he gonna go? So when my dad eventually, like, went inside, and I was like, okay, now how do I get out of this tree? And I had to you have to do what you always do. If you can't get out, you just fall on your ass. So, yeah, I just, like, got to the lowest branch I could, and then just fell. I was just like, and boom. I just hit my butt. I was like, that wasn't bad. And then I went back inside.
How long were you up in the tree for?
My phone fell out of my pocket. I don't know.
If you had to estimate.
Probably an hour or so. Less than 2 hours, more than an hour.
That makes it even funnier.
It was like in the middle of the afternoon, and it was about twilight when I was trying to, like, get out of the tree.
I do find it very funny, you hiding from your dad for, I don't know, like 40 minutes in a tree. And him just being like, where is Julie?
He wasn't looking for me. He was just, like, doing his own thing. And I'm just like, I'm not in a tree. I'm not in a tree.
I do always love this story. That is a good one. You tricking animals for some reason is just funny to me. Okay, but now time for the secret link. All right, so the thing is the ocean is a terrifying hellhole, and it is mysterious as fuck. And this is part of why I love jellyfish, and they scared the crap out of me. So you can click on the link now.
Okay, I am now watching a link. Oh, the phantom.
Yeah, so this is the thing that kind of creeps me out about jellyfish and sea creatures, is there's all of these things that you just don't know about at all. And so the thing with this is a giant jellyfish. It's gray, like a curtain, and they're huge. I don't even know. Does it say in the link, like, how big that one is, or, like, how much it estimates that one is?
I had to turn off the sound because it scared the crap out of me.
Scares the crap out of me.
Well, no, it played this ad very loudly. I was like, oh god! It's more than 3 feet wide, and its ghostly arms trail 33 feet behind.
Yes. This just terrifies me. It's just a gray curtain with huge tentacles, and it's in the depths of everything. But anyway, I wanted to show you that one specifically because this jellyfish lives in the deepest part of the ocean. It is humongous. It's only been seen like once every one year for the last 100 years or something. And it's terrifying. It's this huge giant sea monster. And it's just, I don't know, it's a weird thing whenever people are like, I want to go into the depths of the ocean and look at things. And I'm like, it's too much. They're too big and they terrify me. And jellyfish are beautiful, but they're terrifying. I'll repeat it again, that the ocean is a terrifying hellhole.
It is indeed. Sorry, your like video, or not your video, your sound was just like echoey and weird, and I couldn't like hear you. I could kind of hear you, but it was like, wait.
It's funny. I can now see Kiki running in and out.
Yeah, I saw her. She raked her tail on my calf and then ran out like some weirdo. Like, remember the jellyfish sting and then ran out because she got the calf that got stung.
And you were like, the memories.
No, memories. Yeah.
It's all coming back.
Yeah, the other thing you could do is you, like, put your leg in the sand and let the heat, like, help.
Did it help?
Yeah, I mean, I felt weird because I'm just like, I'm trapped on the beach that stung me now. Like, I can't, like, get out.
Well, the other thing, okay, so there's 2 more things that I wanted to mention. And one is, this is another reason why jellyfish are terrifying, is because, like Lord of the Rings elves, some of them can live forever, technically. Now, the reason why I say it's like Lord of the Rings elves is because this is the thing about Lord of the Rings elves. You could stab them and they'll die. They're not... they do die. It's just not, like, if
they're not
they don't
impervious
get
to
stabbed.
harm. They just live endlessly if not killed.
If not stabbed.
Yeah.
Or set on fire
ageless.
or whatever.
I guess.
Ageless. So there is this type of jellyfish that can basically go into adult form and then it can regress back to, I don't know if it can go all the way to being a baby, but like it can regress essentially. So it could, in theory, live forever if it wanted to. Now, how much jellyfish want, I don't know. How much they want to live forever, I don't know. Because they probably don't think at all.
You should create a story of like jellyfish mermaid hybrid types that like constantly flash between adulthood and childhood, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you?" And they're like, "We're too dumb to talk to you about it."
I'm just here being beautiful.
Mentally always a child, sometimes physically. Like
I don't know. Sometimes I just turn back into a child because I see a ball and it's really shiny and I just want to play with it.
yeah, you should just have it like where it just happens because of instances, like a crow. It's like something shiny, 5 years old all of a sudden. Like, oh no, income tax, 20 years old.
Oh no, the king is coming and is burning my village. Wait, we're underwater. It's fine.
It's fine. How does this work? Physics, how would I know?
That's a SpongeBob.
That's a SpongeBob.
I'm pretty sure there is a SpongeBob like that, isn't there? Where like something
essentially, it's the episode where SpongeBob and Patrick steal the balloon, and so they like go on the run. And then Patrick goes, "SpongeBob, if we're underwater, how does the fire?" And then the fire just goes out.
Oh yeah. Man, SpongeBob's good.
SpongeBob is how you know if there's someone your age, like in the area. Because if you quote SpongeBob immediately, like another millennial will know exactly what you're talking about. It's like this forever bond for this generation. It's very good.
You can say just a couple of SpongeBob quotes and you're good to go.
You are. And it's even funnier, you can tell when someone's not in your generation because they're just like, haha, just don't get it at all. It's like, oh, you're from the 80s. You're too old. You're like early 80s or older.
Well, one of the last things I will say about jellyfish is I think that one of the real reasons why I like them so much is because of the time that we went to the Baltimore Aquarium. And I did include a link in here, which may be in the video. I can include that link too. If you click on this link, it will basically take you to the tank that I think we visited. And you can see like the live jellyfish just like squidging around.
I could post pictures from our trip too, because that's when I was on my photography phase and brought my camera and took a ton of pictures.
Yeah, I think that you took a cool picture of me. I'm not sure if I still have it. I'll have to look. But it's like a picture of me and then there's like all the jellyfish in the background.
Maybe. I was mostly focused on the jellyfish. I don't remember taking any pictures of my friends other than we have like a couple weird pictures of us on the streets, like in Baltimore with like the artwork. Mm-hmm. And it looks like we're talking about something, and my hair, it's when I had my hair like really short, so it's just like poof, like I have an afro. And we were just talking, and I had my weird hoodie that was just, it was a crop top thing that was just my shoulders and a hood.
That was the best part about high school.
That's my fashion sense.
The weird shit we wore. It is always funny to see pictures of us, and it's like, what the
hell are you wearing? We literally just wore stuff nobody else wanted to wear. It's like...
Yeah, it was like thrift shopping, I guess, before it was popular.
Yeah. And then I remember the biggest one is my mom used to have all these bandanas that my dad got from like Korea. And it was like a white bandana with Asian writing on it. And I wore it as a wristband. And I just remember like girls would come up to me like, "Did you hurt your wrist?" I'm like, "No." "Well, then you probably shouldn't wear that." I'm like, "Why would I wear something with like Chinese writing on it because I hurt my wrist?" Like, I'm sorry, you're dumb. Like, don't tell me what to do.
Some kind of Chinese Band-Aid? I don't know.
Yeah, like, why would Yep, I'm the idiot here. Just leave me alone. I'm weird. Just leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Let me love my jellyfish and just be a person. Okay, the other thing I remember about this trip, and I will remember forever, is when we went on the trip and we were on the bus and we got to pick movies and stuff, and you picked Galaxy Quest, and we were both vibing and having a great time, and everybody else hated it. Everybody else on the bus. And it was...
Oh, yeah, we didn't even care. We were just like, what do you mean it's the greatest movie ever? It was really dumb. Well, you're dumb, and we don't care. Play it again.
I don't even want to be here.
I don't want to be here. I might as well enjoy the goddamn movie.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. So for our next episode, we're having our first guest of the season. Can you guess who it is? Probably.
It's our secret returning guest. You'll never know who it is until the next episode. And it's a holiday special. We're talking about Earth Day. We're going to release it early or late, however you think about it, on a Friday, which is Earth Day.
Our guest might even be here now.
Dun dun dun. I think I did hear a car door. I was like, perfect timing.
Key breaks in the house.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm waiting to turn around and just see him behind me.
Yeah, that would be kind of startling, but I guess I'm also expecting him.